Brother, huh? Yes.
So good evening, everybody. We are here to set out. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for honoring the invitation to join us in an important discourse. I want to make us understand that the color of this forum is all smiley, smiley. We're talking about something that gets all of us excited. We're talking about our love. And it's expected that every person will get so disposed in the mind to express some level of cheerfulness and some level of happiness. So we welcome you. We understand people from different folks. Some are coming from their friends' invitation. And this link had been sent to different platforms. And we feel quite honored that you came this evening to join this discussion. Your opinion is quite important. So we actually have you to express that. We want to set some ground rules. We do expect that as you join us, you will mute your mic. We will also plead with you to put off your video, except for the panel members that we're going to announce, so that we don't have issues with the network. There will be a lot of information. The panel, we have feedbacks from you. You have questions, you have reactions. Our intention is actually that you will want to raise up your hand and the moderator will call you by name, and then you ask your question, and then it will be responded to. If you will not raise up your hand, there's also an option of using the chat box to send us what your contribution is, and you can be sure that the people in the studio will take it up and will meet your needs as with respect to that question. So welcome this evening. My name is Ernest. We are broadcasting from Lagos, and it's my honor to have you. This is a program that has been running in series that started a long time. And today's topic is the sense and the nonsense of the Valentine Day frenzy. In a previous meeting earlier, we, under this theme, love and friendship that makes sense, we started in an offline on-site discussion yesterday, where we had a discussion on the love that makes sense. And we're able to look at other descriptions, and they saw that we can categorize love from what is stirring it up. And also we could actually tell whether it makes sense or it doesn't make sense based on the consequence of that love. okay, and all the things that follow it, and we're able to make sense out of what we discussed. Today, we'll be looking at the sense and the nonsense of the Valentine Day frenzy. And if you had the opportunity to join us tomorrow, we'll be talking about the friendship, the way it makes sense. So welcome on board. As I announced, my name is Ernest. I'm your anchor for this evening, and we'll be setting out right away. With me on the panel are young men who are also excited about love, and you will like actually to hear their opinions about what they are saying. So we have on the panel this evening, Barrister Mike Oyaga. Barrister Mike Oyaga is a legal practitioner, an author, and a motivator of the young people. Barrister Mike, if you're there, we want you to have your camera on so we can see you smiling in love. Thank you so much. And also we have with us Mr. Emmanuel Kenze. Mr. Emmanuel Kenze is also a very happy and cheerful young man, and is a practicing data analyst, it's an IT professional. So Mr. Kenze, right from there, let's also have your camera come on so that we can see the faces of our panelists. And also we have Fam Chineye Ezeribako. That's a young pharmacist, a young lady full of love as well. She will also be joining us this evening to discuss what we have on board. For those that just joined us as we started, we say, please, as you join us, please mute your mic, put out your video. The videos that we want to have on are the videos of the panelists. And more so, we will have you to get back to us, ask questions at any point. And the way you do is to raise your hand up, or you can put a comment in the chat box. We will see the comments and we will get right back to you. Thank you so much. I can see Basi Goodness is saying, we cannot hear you at all, sir. Please, if you can hear me, can you just unmute and say you can hear me and then mute it again?
I can hear you very clearly, sir.
Oh, thank you. So Basi, it must be from your side. So we encourage you to go to your mic. Make sure you click that thing that looks like an earphone, and it will tell you what to do. You follow the instruction. So thank you very much. So welcome, panelists. Are there panelists there? Can we have you greet the audience? The panelists, I would like that your cameras to come on and you greet our audience.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, everyone. How are you doing today?
You're welcome, sir. Nice seeing you.
Same here, sir.
Good evening, everyone. Nice to be here.
Wonderful woman. Welcome aboard.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Ken.
Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure being here.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to have you today. And as you can see, we are all set and all ears to hear. So we can have the reactions flowing right away into the chat boxes, and we'll be taking them as well. People are still complaining, saying, I can hear. Okay, these ones are agreeing that we are here, we can hear. That's very nice. So we set out right away. I've given you a background that we want to look at. Someone has said before that there is sense in every nonsense. Many people have gotten different stands with respect to Valentine Day. Some are so grouse, some are so not okay with that. Some are so carried in that. And it's time actually we discuss all the stands that we have in a very friendly manner, and with the information that should follow. And then it will enable us to make the better decisions that we need to make for our lives. Okay? So our panelists, I turn to you, Barrister Mike. You can see another February 14th this year. Tomorrow, right? Tomorrow, a few hours from now.
Yes.
It's February 14th. Are you ready for Valentine?
I'm always ready for Valentine, except that my own Valentine is not restricted to a day. Just a quick and very short story. On Sunday, we were coming back from church, and then my wife was in the car, and I said to her and to the children also, I said, I love your mommy so very much, so much. And then one of my daughters said, oh, not again. And my wife was like, what is the problem? She said, Dad is always telling us every day how much he loves mommy. So my love is not just a February 14 kind of a thing. My love is every day, actually. So I wouldn't say I'm ready for Valentine because I'm always in the mood.
So you are carried?
Highly.
That's interesting. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And Mr. Kenze, what about you? Are you in this mood?
Unfortunately, I cannot say I'm
Sorry,
in
can we
this
get camera
mood.
on?
Yes, it's on, please. Unfortunately, I cannot say I'm in this mood because I am still single, and I do not think it's for me yet. So I'd rather just show love to my loved ones and parents. I think that's what I can do right now.
Oh, really? Oh, really? I see. I see. And from Chine, is there any sense in that?
Oh well. Valentine's Day is just about love. So I'm always in the mood to love everyone. Bible says, love your neighbor as yourself. So it's always a love day for me every day.
Oh, that's nice. So all of us are in this mood then. That it's a lover's period, and that we are carried somewhat. But I'm getting curious about something. Franchine, you sounded neither here nor there. Do you have any grouse with February 14th?
Do I have what, sir?
No, sorry. I was just trying to refer to Barrister Mike.
Okay.
You sounded like Barrister Mike. He told me that he loved every day. Mr. Kenze said he doesn't give in to Valentine. He's single. He just wants to love his loved ones. And we just sounded you out now. You sounded like all of them. It looks like you all live in the same world. Barrister Mike,
yes,
do
sir.
you really have a grouse about February 14th? This one you decided to be loving your wife every day.
Yes, I do. And
Okay.
if I may explain what I mean by I have a grouse with it, in the sense that I look at the whole activities surrounding February 14, making it look like it's just a very special day out of the 365 days or 366 days that we have in the year. Like I said earlier, for me, every day should be special, all right? Every day is love day for me. Every day is a day of appreciating those my loved ones. If I may shift a little from my status and then move to Kenze's status, that is the single man status for those who are not married, I would say it should be every day of loving my parents and expressing my love for them. So it's not just a February 14 kind of a thing. And then after February 14, what happens? What next? All right. So for me, the whole activity around February 14 is uncalled for, and seriously is uncalled for. Because if we carry this attitude of expressing love, one for another, for friends, for relatives, and the rest of every other person around us, I don't think that we will be looking forward to February 14. February 14 will not be a special day, as it were, because this is what you do every day. All right. Now, you also look at that February 14, like I said, the activities surrounding it. The major activity that surrounds February 14 is expression and participation of young men and women in immoral acts.
Okay.
Immoral
I
early
think
this morning, I posted something on my status. I said premarital sex is not an expression of love. Rather, is a. Am I being heard? Can anyone hear
yes,
me,
we
please?
can hear you. Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you.
All right. So I was just saying that if we adopt this attitude of every day should be a day of love, family members and the rest of them, our partners, our spouses, and the rest, there won't be any need to see February 14 as a very special day. So for me, it's not a big deal. It's not a special day as it were. Friends, the day, making it look as if it's a very unique day. That's the only day you celebrate love and express love. I don't know what exactly is very special about it.
Oh, I can understand. I can understand. It's difficult actually to be one in a million. It's difficult to be one in a million. Yours is just you want it to be every day, every day. But that's good. But Mr. Kenzie, is there a reason behind your feeling as well? Mr. Kenzie, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, sir.
Is there a reason for the kind of feeling you have? You just decided to frown at this February 14 and said, because you're single, you want to stay on your own. Maybe you have reasons for that.
I feel like the essence of Valentine has been taken away from the real concept of it, and even the set of people that instituted it have come out to say, "Oh, we don't belong to this set anymore. We instituted it, but we want to take it off as part of our observations and stuff." And so, the real reason for it has just been made into another thing. And personally, just like Barrett or Mike said, why should we celebrate love in one day out of 365 days in a year? Just doesn't make sense.
Okay. I can as well see that stance. 1 year, 1 day out of 365 days doesn't make sense. Looks like that bottling love, all of it. That's right. But is there any kind of is there any background to this that's actually making you think that way? Is there any background? Is there any background information that informed your stance?
Yes, we heard that one of the versions of the stories of Saint Valentine was that he was imprisoned for refusing to offer sacrifice to pagan gods, right? And that was the time that he cured a jailer's daughter who was blind. And he wrote a message addressed to the girl he cured saying, "Your Valentine." And looking at that version, it just doesn't look like something that should mean any of these things that we see these days. I mean, if this was what actually happened, which I think it wasn't, it shouldn't be what we should hold on to and say we should have a day to have illicit sex and celebrate romantic love to just one person, right? This is what I think.
All right. Thank you so much. Barrister Mike, I know lawyers read wide. Mr. Kenzie is talking about a number of stories around some of these things, some that are credible, some are incredible. Have you had any piece of that story before? Can you let us in?
Well, just like the Holy Bible that have different versions, we have different versions of the Valentine story. So we have the King James version, the NIV version, the amplified version, and the rest of that. Now, on a very serious note, actually, I've heard the version that Kingsley just talked about now, with a letter and the rest of that. I've also heard the story of a young man that fell in love, and and in a way to just express his love, he wrote a letter or something. There are different versions actually, but like Kingsley said, which I agree with, you look at all the versions of the Valentine story, whether it is the one that has to do with Cupid, or the one that has to do with writing of letters, or the one that has to do with healing of somebody who was blind, and the rest of them, they all actually have one underlying factor: expression of love. Now, love for me does not have to be amorous, okay? Doesn't mean that because I want to express my love to you as a person, we have to end up in bed, which is what we see now, which is one of my gross against the February 14 celebration or observation of Valentine. All right. So I can come up one day and say, okay, Kenzie, can I take you to KFC, maybe on January 1st? I know he's smiling right now because he loves KFC. Okay. So it doesn't have to be a February 14 kind of a thing before I take him to KFC and buy him original chicken 5-piece, and then with ketchup and the rest of that. All right. So it's just to show the other person that, look, I appreciate you so much. That is my meaning of love. I appreciate you so much. You've impacted my life one way or the other, and I just want to tell you that you mean so much to me. That's all.
Oh, nice. Oh, thank you for that. I guess Famchine, you will have you have an opinion now. I know you want to tell us something. Let's hear you. Famchine, are you there? Oh, I hope we have not lost her communication
yes.
tonight.
Okay, can you
Okay,
hear me
please.
now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, with what Kens and Barrister said about law, expression of love and all. Yes, I'm a lady, and we lady, I speak like for all ladies, like we love being loved, and we love loving our lovers. That's one thing. So
nice.
Please don't serve me with the love I deserve only once in a year. It doesn't make sense. Like, if you should love me daily, and I should want to love you too daily. Do you understand?
Okay.
So
Yeah.
that once in a year demonstration of, I love you so much, you're the sugar in my tea, although on just one day, to me it's a scam. So, however, like, it's true, it's a scam. Like, however, I'm more concerned about the young folks, most especially those ones that think that, if someone buys me gifts and does the various things for me too on February 14, the person loves me so much. To me, it's a scam. If someone should love properly, it should be an everyday thing. You appreciate the person every day. It should not be only on that February 14. Now, if someone comes around and on that February 14 alone, it's scam. Scam.
Oh,
thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Famchine say February 14 is a scam. For our audience, please, we enjoin you to join us in this discussion. We don't want it to be monotonous. We prefer that you send in your questions or you raise up your hand through the platform so that you can express yourself as well. You can ask questions referring to any person on the panel. You can express what you feel as well, just as they have expressed their own. And whatever you think, we are all here discussing the sense it makes and the no sense it makes to join the February 14 frenzy. Okay, so we'll be expecting your comments as they come in. Now, I want to also ask from Chinaya again. You are a pharmacist, and are there implications to this frenzy? Are there health implications that are associated with participating in this frenzy? Are there some things you think that will influence people's health as they participate in this frenzy?
Sure. Like with the trends and all, when you invite people for parties and all, they tend to drink, and the side implication of taking too much alcohol, how it at the long run it destroys the liver, and also sometimes it affects some parts of the body. Before you know it, somebody who's coming down with the hypertension at a very young age. You could imagine the statistics shows that young people are coming up with hypertension daily. So if you look down on it and you drink, you on the process when you are drunk, you tend to have unprotected sex. STDs and the likes, HIV, which is very much common now. Then you have okay, for some people that they don't use protection. For the ladies, you become pregnant, then the guys now say, no, you have to find something to do about it, or don't try to hurt my future and all. And the girl gets to be depressed in the long run. When you plan to do abortion and all, psychologically, the lady is affected more. So if a lady and someone is approaching you to this, okay, February 14, let's hang out and all, think twice. At the long run, but these are health implications that some people have been depressed. They can't move on because of just one day experience. And so, yes, the implications are numerous. And if the person said at the long run, if the person doesn't even love you, they'll now serve you breakfast on the 15th. So like what's now said of everything now. So you will not be stable again as a lady. So there are a lot of implications. These are just few, but it's deeper than we can even explain here.
All right. Oh, thank you so much. She said you could be served a breakfast on the 15th after 14. Maybe that's why she's so convinced that it's a scam. And the health implications she has talked about. Possibly, Barrister Mike will want to see somebody to cut for participating in Valentine. Barrister?
I love the angle of February 14 is a scam, because scam is a criminal offense. So if you get involved, I'll be glad to see you to cut. All right. Now, but on a very serious note, if you know that right now is actually an offense for you to make a promise, a marital promise to somebody, and then you call it off. It's actually an offense. Serious? Yes, it's a new item in our jurisprudence now. So if I come to you as a lady and I say, I'm going to marry you, just let's go out on February 14, and then I have my way with you, whether protected or unprotected says, I don't think says it's actually protected, because even if it is protected physically, it is not protected spiritually. Okay, the demon in the girl or the demon in the guy will still enter the other party. All right, so now you get into that act, and at the end of the day, the young man comes out and say, look, I'm not getting married to you again. I'm done with you. The lady can actually sue him right now. So, yes. So those who are getting into February 14 and they think you just want to have a one-day fling, just enjoy yourself and move on. You're not moving on, no. You're in trouble.
Please, I got interested in this one that you just talked about. So you can see somebody. You yes. know, when it's getting to the end of the year, the people that sell clothes and the fashion designers say it's their season. We know that it's rampant. Almost everybody will say, I want to marry you on February 14. Do you think it's a season for lawyers throwing clothes?
I'm just positioning myself now for that opportunity. So in case.
So audience, in case you have any person who comes up to say any blah blah blue and then cancels it and then serves you breakfast on the 15th, there is a lawyer here who is waiting actually to. That's interesting. Oh, it's good to understand that there are some legal issues that are covering some of these breakfasts that are served. I also understand there are some slants as well to the just besides promising marriage. Is there a tendency a person can be entitled to any kind of damage besides the issue of getting married to? Assuming I didn't promise you marriage, is there any other offshoot of this thing that looks like any person can have a claim against another person?
Well, if you look at it from the angle of, okay, because some persons, I'm not a medical personnel or medical person now, but I know that some persons, you know, one ungodly act can lead to pregnancy, and then the young man wants to deny the responsibility and tells the girl, look, I'm done with you. I don't know what you're talking about. Look for what to do to the pregnancy. I don't care about it and the rest of that. At that point, there is the possibility of something happening. One, abortion has not been legalized in Nigeria, except some very extreme cases, okay? So if you get into it, the other person can be sued. That is one. You can be sued for medical negligence. Secondly is if she gets into abortion and her womb, I think, or her uterus, I don't know which one is correct now, is damaged, there is a case there also. You can bring up a tort action against the person, okay? So there are a lot of, chain actions that can come out from the act that took place on February 14. Pharmacy Chineye has mentioned the issue of you getting, high blood pressure, even at a young age, hypertension and the rest of that. So on this other side, on the side of the lady now, these are possible things that they should look out for. So if a guy takes you out and you become pregnant and he says he doesn't want, just call my name and I will answer you.
All right. That's quite interesting.
But I think seriously, prevention is better than cure. Instead of you getting to that point, why not just avoid getting into the act in the first place? I think it's better. Better. Yes.
Thank you so much. Our audience, we said you can actually send in your reactions, your questions, your contributions to the ongoing discussion. And if you really want to vocalize what you want to say, you can just raise your hand up and we will see that and you can unmute and then talk to us when we mention your name. On the chat box here, we have Innocent Ohiri, who is chatting us from Lagos. And he said, we are stating that love is expressed on Valentine Day. Can we really call that love? I see it as another version, so long as that version does not align with what the Bible says in 1 Corinthians 13. Well, personally, I cannot refer to what they celebrate or observe as love, given all the sinful encumbrances and gross display of bestiality and promiscuity that's associated with such a day. I think we should call it a celebration of lust and not of love. Well, it looks like he also lives in your own word, Pastor Mike. He's saying that he does not define that as love. I think he much more inclines to Pharmacy Chineye. I heard him say in your mind, say it looks like a scam. Did you hear him that way too? Pharmacy Chineye, are you there?
Our microphone is muted.
Yes,
okay.
I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Somebody sent a reaction from the chat box. He said he would prefer that day is called a celebration of lust and not of love. He doesn't incline to that. And it sounds like that your scam handle. Do you think he's a part of your anti-scam campaign?
Yes. It's the truth now. It's just clearing now. You cannot say that you love somebody and no, it's calm.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Kenze, what's your opinion? Should, seeing the ongoing, every one of us just talking about this look like a scam is actually characterizing the whole thing. In your own philosophy, the way you just express your own understanding or the way you practice your own love, do you think we then should still go ahead or we have broken this bit? What's your opinion?
Okay, so everybody, the panelists have said theirs from their own profession. So I'm going to say mine from my own profession.
Okay.
Right. I am a data analyst and we look at the facts, we look at data, right? Okay. And from research that have been carried out, we see that Valentine's Day has been hugely commercialized. Like it or not, it has been hugely commercialized with many business and corporations using the holiday to drive sales and to drive profit. And it has led to the holiday become less about expressing love and more about consumerism, about the customer, you know, using them as a bait to sell, right? And that's one reason why I think it should be abrogated. Secondly, Valentine's Day can put unnecessary pressure on relationships, right? Just like Pamchine said, it is a scam. It can lead to feelings of anxiety and stress for those relationships. And it can be very difficult for those who are struggling in their own relationships, and or they are single and they are feeling excluded, just like myself. You know, we are excluded from the whole thing, and it shouldn't just be on that day. So it should just be excluded. Another reason is it is primarily focused on romantic love, right? It's primarily focused on romantic love, and it can be exclusionary for those who practice different forms of love in their lives, such as the love for friendship, for friends, for family, for the community. Besides, like I said before, it shouldn't be once in a year. We should love daily, daily. So I think it should be abrogated totally, totally.
Oh, interesting. 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 Oh, okay. But I want to ask a question. Maybe Pastor Mike or any of you. Just what Mr. Kinsey said now brought up my attention. You know, the issue of a commercialization of this. It looks like the driver of this frenzy now are the commercial interest and all of this thing. But when you were telling the stories of the origin, I could remember that someone had said that the people who originated this, you know, this was an origination of the Catholic Church because of a priest that was called Valentine. Pastor Mike told a story along that line. But along the line, about 1956, thereabout, I also got to understand that the Catholic Church pushed this out of their liturgical calendar, and the Catholic Church no longer celebrates St. Valentine's Day. I don't know, has any of you heard of this story? Will anybody want to tell us much better, a clarification that the owner of the thing has even withdrawn, making it much more a scam?
Very well. Kenzie mentioned it earlier.
Okay.
Before he responds to that, let me just say this. I think that the owners, as it were, or the originators have said, look, our hands are no longer there. You know, a town hall is now different from Bala Blue. So let's leave it and move on. All right. But then, because of the commercial activities also surrounding the whole day, you know, people, even if people like us who are in the minority would not want to get involved, if you see the way it is talked about.
I think we lost Barrister Mike's vocal there. I hope he comes back and make it better. I'm sorry, Barrister Mike. Some of us lost what you were saying for some moments. I guess this network is for Valentine. That's why he's not permitting this person. It's a case again. Can we hear you? Maybe Pastor Mike will come back. We come back. Is there a slant to this story and all of that?
So for the Catholic Church, taking off the practice from their calendar is basically because they know little about the guy, about him, and they cannot for sure say that this is why this is so, or this is the real story, because of the many controversies that were surrounding the stories at that time. So they're coming out to say, okay, so they cannot make a conclusive argument to say this is the right thing to do because they don't even know the true origin of the whole thing. So they just took it out. So because of the many variations and it being a Catholic church, a church that that is kind of like the religious body of Christianity at that time. They rather do not want to associate themselves with some of those variations of Saint Valentine's. Hence, the need to just take it out of the stuff entirely. So I guess that was why it was done.
Confirming from Chineye's declaration, this must be a scam.
It is a scam. It is a scam.
The owner withdrew and the commercial guys took it over.
Yes,
and
sir.
continue to reinforce it.
Mm-hmm.
That's correct. Then, Pastor Mike, you made mention of something about spirituality. I also have heard something about Roman Empire, one spirit, one demon of love and fertility, one Cupid, that shoots arrows around. I don't know. Do you have any kind of explanation or story? I don't know whether you have any story around that area of some Roman tradition or something, coming up and taking over, in the whole thing.
Actually, I would say most of these stories are actually mythologies. They are all myths. Okay. We can't prove them because even the Roman Catholic Church that initially was at the front of the whole stuff has said, look, we're no longer there. Our hands are off. Like I was saying before my network shut down. Okay, so stories will always, you see, when people want to support or project an ideology, they will come up with a lot of stories, to get at the heart of people. And if the story does not fly, they will always look for a baptismal way to pass that same ideology across. For example, in my children's school right now, they are told that, oh, tomorrow is Friendship Day. And then you have to put on red or you put on white. And I said, tomorrow is not Friendship Day. Friendship Day is every day. You don't have to wear red tomorrow to show friends or to show friendship or put on white. In fact, I'm going to put on native tomorrow. That's where I'm putting this thing. Okay. Because the whole idea is, okay, come up with a story, a very sweet, nice, interesting story that will make the idea of this thing we call Valentine to sink deep into the heart of the people. All right. So all those myths and mythologies, I think they're just there to push the idea forward. But we know, like what Mr. Innocent Uriri said in the chat box, it is not an expression of love. It is not. It is just an expression of lust. And that is why the pharmacist said it's a scam. And you look at it from the perspective of the commercial activities also, apart from the loss that is being expressed, you will see that the whole thing has shifted from the love it was supposed to demonstrate to now other items that are hidden therein.
At this point, I'm feeling like accusing MTN. I just made a call this afternoon and they ring back to say there's love in the air. It could be MTN that's acting this.
Can you imagine now that, okay, so it is between today and tomorrow that there is love in the air. Okay, fine. Before February 14, what was in the air? Carbon dioxide. Or gaseous. Oh my God.
The bank and all the network that wouldn't work that was in the air. So, but it was today, love has taken over. Oh, interesting. I love that. But I want to ask, you just mentioned something now that sounded very important to us. You say your children came back and they said that we are going to dress in red tomorrow. Yeah. And we've got a very wonderful handle from Chineye this afternoon. Say this is a scam. They're going to serve you. They're going to serve you breakfast by tomorrow morning. Being a parent, what do you want to tell? What do you want to tell other parents? What do you think should be the role of parents? Saying that this thing now is commercialized, the owner has withdrawn. What do you want to tell parents about it?
Honestly, as parents, we have a role, very big role to play. All right. It's more like we are contending against a force, a behemoth. Okay. Now, our responsibility as parents in the first place is to understand what this thing that is called Valentine's Day is all about, and then understand what it is not about, and then know how to pass the message across to our children. Okay. Now in the school, where my kids attend, they've been told it's a friendship day. And I've programmed their mind, or rather I have reprogrammed their mind that friendship day is not only one day. Friendship day is every day. I am your dad, I am your friend, your mom is your mom, she's your friend, you have friends in the school and the rest of that. They are all your friends. You tell them how much you appreciate them and the rest of that. It doesn't have to be a particular day. So don't look forward to that day. And now that they're asking you to put on red or put on white, you're not going to put on red or white. You wear your school uniform or you wear native attire to school, just to disabuse their mind that that day is a special day. So if we are not particular as parents as to how we pass the message across to our children, you will discover that the flood, because it is a huge flood that is moving and is flowing, it will carry the children along. And you know that children have a very open mind. If you tell them 1 + 1 is 2, they believe 1 + 1 is 2. Except you can come later and tell them, no, 1 + 1 is no longer 2, but 1 + 1 is now 11. They will believe you. So it has to do with you presenting superior information to whatever information has been given to them in the school, and then to make sure that they understand what you are saying. That's number 2. Number 3 is the way and manner you present it also matters a lot. A lot of parents these days don't even have time for their children. They don't even have information to pass across to their children. And when they have time, they don't know how to communicate, to speak the language of their children. So we needed to understand the time that we have found ourselves in. We need to understand our children. We need to have what is it called? Have constant communication with them, learn their language, speak their language. And if you learn their language and you also speak their language, you'll be able to pass your message to them in the language that they understand, and it's very easy. So when they go out there and these things are presented to them, it's very difficult for them to take it in. It's just like a young lady of about 5 years old that a teacher who is a pedophile in the school tells, "Oh, I love you so much. You look so beautiful." And she replied, the teacher, "My daddy told me that this morning." So you're not saying anything new. All right. So that bit could not get the girl. But assuming the father has not spoken that language to her, the father is waiting for February 14 when love will now be in the air, because all along there is no love in the air. I don't know what would have happened to that girl.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kenzie, you are in red and white, and Barrister Mike's words have been entitled to you.
Straight coincidence. Straight coincidence. Street coincidence, please.
Okay, you have something. You just announced to us that you are single, and you have something you want to tell a parent of a young man like you. It is Pastor Michael is talking about the parents of the younger children. Parents of young people like you, or people that are younger like you that have got independent mind. Is there anything you want to say to those parents, or even say to those young people?
I think it's very clear. Pastor Mike has given from the standpoint of parents, but for the young minds who are independent, they should understand that whatever they do from now will be consequential, right? Now, it depends on the right frame of mind, your own belief, your own ideology. I am a Christian, I am a child of God, and I have my own set of beliefs that are given to me from the Bible, right? So I have my own teachings that I abide by. So you accept if you're free-spirited and you just believe everything. Because I am a Christian, I obey the dictates of the Bible, and there are things that the Bible says I should do and I should not do. Now, from what the Bible says, the acts and the deeds done in Valentine's Day negates totally what the Bible says. So I am not subscribing to that, not because I don't want to, but because I have something I am living by, right? So for young minds out there, you know what is good for you. You have your free mind. I have said my own opinion, but I mean, it is up to you and your own beliefs to do what is right.
All right, thank you so much. From Chile,
if I may leave a voice to that.
Okay.
I would say that for the young minds or for the young adults out there, we need to understand that
Versa Mike, this network always know what you want to say, and we want to interfere all the time. It appears I've located your house. Okay, while we wait for you to bounce back, Famchineye, can we hear from you? Do you think there's a role the church has? You know, Mr. Kenze has been talking about he is a believer, he's a Bible student, he's a child of God, and from the teachings of the Bible, he doesn't want to follow the crowd and all of that. What's your opinion, and what do you want to think that the church should do with respect to that? Famchine, are you there?
Yes, I am. So
Okay.
in respect to what the church should do concerning Valentine's Day and all, it should be a day maybe that they try to preach more and emphasize it on the young minds, especially maybe in children church or adult youth church. The essence that love should not be based on a one-day thing. Now, if you, I'll take for instance, when I was in children church, then in school, what we were taught about Valentine's Day was, oh, come, they would wrap your name, they'll wrap different names and put on papers and now say on that day, whoever name you pick, you're going to buy a gift for that person. So it was from school that idea of, oh, buying gifts for another person started. And it's just done that, oh, so if the church had brought it in a way that, oh, appreciate whoever you need to appreciate in the church, definitely nobody will clamor on, oh, on Valentine's Day, I'm going to buy a gift for this person is going to give me gifts. If the gift is an everyday thing and everybody is seen giving, sharing and collecting gifts in church and all, definitely nobody will just want to clamor on just a particular day to be appreciated or to be given a gift. So I think the church has a part to play in talking more and also showing that, yes, because in children church, if you look at it, some people will just leave the children the whole year. Nobody will want to come by and try to show, oh, hello, celebrate this, celebrate your birthday, celebrate your anniversary, all this type of programs. I think if they are more mostly done in churches, definitely all the children will not be taken to the ideology of the world that, oh, Valentine's Day is the day of only love. But if they see it constant, just imagine maybe a child that you constantly give maybe ice cream, gifts. If somebody is bringing, or maybe give the child gifts, and somebody is bringing such on a particular day, you'll just like, oh, my daddy got this for me. Oh, we're giving this in church. So it will not be for a big deal. And we'll now try to play with the child's mind. And before you know, you lure the child into things that should not be. So I think that's how the church should come in.
Oh, thank you so much. Barrister Mike, any legal advice to the church? I guess this Valentine network has finally put Barrister Mike to the side. Okay, I think we are drawing close to this, and I don't know, our audience have been quite quiet today. I hadn't many people who had opinions, who wanted to tell us their own opinions, who wanted to ask questions. I don't know, but we are rounding up now. Except I see your hand up, then we can actually get back to you. The data analyst, Mr. Kenze, just told us that from their data, from their analysis, they see that this thing has been totally hijacked and has been commercialized, and there has become a means of profit for organizations. The spiritual people that put it up have actually withdrawn. Now it's the people who are making business of it that are out there. And Barrister Mike also made us understand that this thing is, the indulgence of this is actually mostly young people, single people, who actually do it for the purpose of ending up in the bed at the end of the day. In the light of this, I will want to have the panelists actually to give their parting advices to the audience that have been listening to us. Our audience have been made up of both young and old. I want you to come up with an advice as to how one should conduct himself at this point in time. Your parting words, please. Maybe I start from, maybe from Chineye, can we hear you? Young people like you now, just your parting words.
Okay. My parting words would be tomorrow. If anybody that have not given you gifts before now, and you're presenting gifts to you,
It's a scam.
it's a scam. It's a scam. Just look at that person. Not them. I've been noting them. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Mr. Kenze, can we hear you? Your parting words, please.
I would say to avoid stories that touch, to avoid falling into depression, to avoid all the medical things that Chineye has said. I think we should just stay away and show love every day. In fact, as a thing of practice, just after this Valentine's Day, take it upon yourself to send a message or two to one or two people, telling them how much you care about them. Okay, just after Valentine, take it as a practice. Make people understand how much they mean to you. Make people know how much you care. Okay, it doesn't have to be. Nothing has to be attached to it, right? Just ensure that people understand how much you care about them, how much you know that they exist, that you are with them, and you just love them, right? Just like any other person would. And also to avoid coming into a town hall that is different from Balablo. Don't promise anybody what you cannot keep, right? So yes, that's my advice.
All right, thank you so much. I'm not sure Mr. Mike has been able to connect back. Mr. Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm back.
Sorry, we said you talked about MTN. That is MTN that's causing this thing that's going on there, and they took your network. You were about to advising the church before that happened. Maybe we hear what you want to say to the church, and then your parting advice to our audience.
I was actually going to advise the young minds, but let me put the two together right now. I think for the young minds, like just like what Kenze said, but in addition to that, I would say that pending when you will become like us, I mean, people like us that are married, that can express our love to our wives and children. You don't have wives and children yet. So just look up to the hills from whence cometh your help. Your help cometh from the Lord that made the heavens and the earth. All right. Yeah. Number two is you need to learn to develop yourself. This is the time for you to develop yourself and avoid distractions. Premarital sex is distraction. Valentine Ulabalu is just a big distraction. You don't need it right now. What you need is to work on yourself and develop yourself. Okay. Number three is to learn how to express love to your would-be partner or your would-be wife or husband tomorrow. You have your family members in your house. Express love to them. Show them how much you care for them. You know, take them out on the dinner date. Nobody says you cannot take your mother out on a dinner date or take your dad out on a dinner date. You can use all of that. I have 8 sisters, okay, 7 sisters, and I used them to learn how to relate with women. So when I got married, it was not difficult for me to learn how to relate with my wife, to know how to relate with my wife. Okay, so I don't have to take a lady to KFC or to take a lady to Mr. Biggs before I will be able to tell her that I love her. I say that to my parents, I say that to my sisters, and it is very easy. So this time is not a time of getting involved in what everybody is doing. Just have a niche for yourself, develop yourself. The world out there is filled with opportunities, but you can only take charge of those opportunities if you are ready for them. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much, my panelists. It's a pleasure to have you give us your opinions and also give us facts drawn especially from the professions that you practice. And we also are very thankful to our audience who have spent their resources, their data, their time, actually to sit out with us today and share opinions with us. We are so grateful to you. We want to encourage everyone, and the takeaway today is, if anybody comes tomorrow saying Bala Bala Blue is a scam, Valentine is a scam. Thank you so much for coming around. God bless you. Bye for now.
Please, I cannot hear from this angle. I can't hear from this end.